Previously on Trails through Daybreak 2, Swin Nadia became substitute brigands and captured a con artist in a cutscene. Soon afterwards, Elaine joined the party with a request to investigate network issues, which could be due to sabotage. Despite lacking a proper tank character, the party managed to defeat an Abyss Worm mini-boss by the skin of their teeth. Tyrell.
Let's be on our way.
Looks like today's accident incident tallies for the Tyrell District are down from last week. Let's just hope it stays that way. Why the doom and gloom, Karen? Is there something you're expecting to happen? No, it's just, until recently, the whole force was on maximum alert, and we still don't really know what about. It ended as quickly as it started, but that only has me more anxious. Even now, my mind keeps drifting back to it. I getcha, the whole mess was way bizarre. It definitely makes you wonder. On top of that, it happened right after we finally got to stop watching our backs for Almata. But you gotta let it go on some level, Karen, or you won't be able to focus on the work at hand. I know, it's just hard to get it out of my head. I envy you sometimes, Nancy. You're always so in control of your emotions. She must be referring to the incident with that Crimson Beast. It only stands to reason that the local authorities would be slightly on edge too. That said, most of the details are probably being kept under wraps. Still, I get why they feel uneasy. Even if there haven't been any new cases, we're pretty much in the same boat.
Return of the King. Now playing.
Life tends to move on whether or not you like it. Knowing when and how to switch gears is the only real way to deal with that. Karen has a tough time getting out of her serious mode though, so I'll just have to nudge her out myself. I guess I can't deny that things are more peaceful now. Our job as police officers is to keep it that way. Until last year, that rotten low-down mafia had the entire populace wrapped up in terror. We have to do everything in our power to make sure our citizens never feel unsafe again. The Z1 Finals, the T-Phone, the new spring fashion collections. Oh, if only I had more ice to keep on all of this year's hottest events and trends. In the perfect world, I'd hop on the bandwagon for each and every one of them. To be honest, my wallet just can't afford that. Sometimes it feels like opportunity has my door blacklisted. Guess the only time will tell how much of 1209 I'll get to enjoy. Wonder if the future has anything good in store for me. I've given up on getting scouted at this point, so that's out. Last year's EGC wound up getting postponed for only a day though, so I still gotta go in the end. That's gotta be a good omen, right? Maybe that luck will carry over into this year. Welcome to Macmillan Cafe. Just let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I may only be a part-timer, but don't worry, my resume's pretty hefty. I'm only working here at the cafe right now, but I used to have a whole list of part-time jobs. So if there's one thing I've got, it's experience, and you'd better believe I'll put it to use. My Sunday school teacher and friends helped me get used to Calvert pretty fast. It's even better now that Mommy's settling in too. I think she's lonely though, since Daddy's always busy. Maybe she should make her own friends. Our family has been living in this country since my husband transferred here for work last year. Near the end of December, we returned to Elsheim to hear the Grand Prince's New Year's address and join the festivities. What's strange is, upon our return to the Republic, I felt serene. Not quite so as much as I would my ancestral home, but still. It came as a bit of a shock. I suppose I've become more accustomed to life in Calvert than I realized. No matter how accustomed I get to the lifestyle though, not having any familiar faces around me can be rather isolating. It would be nice if I could get to know the people in my neighborhood better. I'm a bit envious of Lolo in that sense. He made a friend the moment he entered Sunday school here. Welcome to Macmillan Cafe. Take a seat anywhere you like. As the Tyrell District can get rather lively, my goal is to provide a place of solace in the midst of all the hubbub. We get customers of all sorts in here, each with their own wants that we strive to accommodate. So please, do let me know if you have any special concerns that need attention. The cafe has been seeing a lot more students and other youngsters now that the spring is almost here. By the same token, I've also noticed a rise in folks raring to start a new life, as well as those who are anxious about doing so. My hope is that this place can help soothe their minds as they embark on the paths before them.
Welcome! Thank you for coming!
Get latte.
Please stop by again!
And blaze a trail for those.
Wait, you? Heh, just look at all the hustle and bustle. Go where the people gather and cast a wide net. That's business 101. Today's shaping up to be a grand old time. Anyone else hearing this lady? I can't put my finger on it, but something definitely feels off about her. It's hard to disagree.
The saga of Ravana.
Right, let's
the
move.
Return of the King. Now playing.
What is this rude little fuzzball's problem? Shoo, go yell at someone your own size. Even the cat knows what you're really up to. The fact that she's outside the Blacklight District is kind of suspicious.
And of how a young band of soldiers met.
What do we have here? Two exquisite specimens. Each has an impressive demeanor and sense of style that perfectly complement their natural beauty. The blonde one feels somehow familiar, though. Perhaps she's already broken into the industry. Pardon me, but may we help you? I can't think of it many respectable reasons to leer at a woman's figure and oogle her every move. Sounded to me like he wasn't analyzing her charm points, though. Maybe this isn't just your average girl watcher. Where are my manners? My apologies for any discomfort I've caused. Let me explain. I am a scout for fashion models, both professional and amateur, the latter of which is new to the scene. My work entails hunting around for individuals who have a gift for making the most of their wardrobes. I spoke up because I believe that both of you possess what it takes to rise to the top of the industry. Fashion models, now you've got my attention. I did hear some places in Calvert these days are hiring rookies their readers can relate to better. Now I understand, you're looking for new girls to feature in magazines, with the hopes that they'll ultimately grace the EDC runway. Having said that, we don't have the time to spare for such activities, so I'm afraid we'll have to decline. That's a shame, but I understand fully, personal circumstances and whatnot. I do most of my scouting in this general area, so feel free to reach out if you change your minds. Seems walking around town with these two at once turns a lot of heads. Lesson learned. Models come in different types. Most recent on the scene are the ones who do amateur work for magazines and such. There's this girl named Sun, for example. One of her friends introduced us to each other late last year, after which I scouted her. She only takes on assignments every so often, but it's done wonders for her confidence and self-esteem. These occasional chances to guide someone's life in a positive direction is part of what makes this job so rewarding. Wait, are you serious, Son? When the heck did you land that gig? I didn't even realize amateur modeling was a thing before now. Marilyn was the one who got me into it. Up until last year, I was really struggling on how to reconcile my heritage with what I want to do. But then she found me a job where I can make the most of my individuality. Props for that, Marilyn. It wasn't much on my part, really. I simply looked for something I thought would suit you. After all, you're adorable enough to pull off any outfit, Eastern or otherwise. For real? Dang, Marilyn, you're practically a talent agent now. Way to go. But you know, son, if you're looking to get into the entertainment biz, you could have reached out to me too. Sure, it's not the big time or anything, but my dad does own a talent agency. Oh, I'm not so sure anything would have come out of asking you, though, Peter.
Seek out
I'd probably die of embarrassment anyway. And well, to be honest, the fact that you even had those connections kind of slipped my mind. God, how has this always happened to me?
In theaters now.
If someone can find a new path for herself, why can't I? Look, they always gotta make me the butt monkey, don't they? Well, show them. Over this last year, my dad and I have managed to get on better speaking terms. I'm not really keen on using his connections, but it does give me an idea.
3-point heat. Now playing it.
An occasional magazine photo shoot won't change my life or anything, so I'm just gonna enjoy it as it comes. Even if I don't end up making a full-time career out of modeling, I'd say it's still worth the while. And best of all, it's opened my eyes to a whole bunch of new ways to change up my personal style. I've got Marilyn and Link for that.
We embarked on a journey to reclaim what was right.
I truly am glad I brought Sun to the industry. She's been even cheerier for it ever since. That doesn't mean our dynamic has changed. However, I'll be watching over her from the sidelines as always. As for Peter, just what could he be going through his head at this point? Not that I can't hazard a guess. I'm searching for the latest business magazines. No sooner had the new year started than the Verne company restructured their personnel. Their launch of the T-phone followed right after. On top of that, reparations from the Empire have ended. Keeping abreast of financial news is more vital now than ever before. One must always remain aware of any shifts in the economic climate, whether current or upcoming. You said you needed a book on first aid for the festival, right? Let's see, would something like this do the trick? Whoa, the offer even specializes in sports medicine. It's perfect, I knew you'd come through, area. Don't mention it. There's a reason I'm the Academy's head student librarian, after all. It's surprising to see someone outside of the library committee ordering books, though. You must really be keeping busy, Sasha. Hey, this is what I signed up for as a general club manager. I say the work is its own reward. Welcome to Stewart Bookstore. Browse around and you're sure to find something that suits your fancy. After installing a computer to manage our inventory last year, we've been experimenting with a number of other services as well. Our new online ordering and reservation system, for example, has been very well received. Eventually, I'd like to implement a mail order service that delivers directly from warehouse to customer. That'll require coordinating with vendors, however, so it's still a work in progress.
Please take as
Proverbs
much time
of the
as you
Warrior, speed type, huh?
Thought the other day.
Hey, you've heard those crazy rumors, right? You know, with the disappearances and the screaming and stuff. Some are even saying it might be a serial killer. Yeah, people talk about it here and there when I'm on the road. There were never any official statements or anything, though, so it's kind of been petering out. Guess that means it was just an urban legend, huh? Are you kidding? Where's the smoke? Where there's smoke, there's fire. There has to be something that got the grapevine going. Sure, but I can easily see this being 1 or 2 incidents that got blown out of proportion after 3 or 4 retellings. Either way, if those things actually happen, then I'm more than happy to have them over and done with. I like gossip as much as the next guy, but anything that hits too close to reality just spooks me out. The police haven't said anything though, so it probably is just a rumor, I hope. Feels like phones are all the people are talking about nowadays. Can't say blame them though. I mean, just a click of a button and you've got access to all kinds of info, where from social media, forums, rumor mills, you name it. And okay, sure they're expensive, but come on, with a selling point like that, I can't just not buy one. Hello, take your time and let me know when you're ready to order. Not much of a talker, this chef. Kinda gives me a funny feeling though. Yeah, I think you're on to something. Little wonder those two would notice. This man is a martial artist of Heiwei, but it probably doesn't stop there.
May I help you?
Almond tofu. Hun sour soup.
Positively delectable.
What's this? The substitute Spriggans are gracing our establishment already. And with Beauty's Blade as their chaperone, no less. The rumors held weight after all, it seems. Wow, news must travel fast when you're a front for Heiwei. Van's notes did mention that. Should we be on our guards? It's better than being caught unawares, but there's no need to go overboard. This restaurant is kept in check by the guild and vice versa. Essentially, the family it belongs to is run by a neutral elder. No, enough of the glaring. This is nothing more than a humble eatery. Besides, it's not as though we have any sinister plans for you in particular. We'd even be willing to strike a deal if push comes to shove. How about if we just want to come here and eat like normal people? Is that okay? Anytime, believe it or not. Our food has one of the best reputations around. I can vouch for the taste, so please feast away. It will be our pleasure to lighten your wallets. There are a number of different families in Heiwei, and not all of them are as prudent as ours. Matters are growing harried on that front, but it's nothing you need to concern yourselves with. We may end up petitioning some more Spriggan assistance, though, if the situation demands it. If I recall correctly, the Lai family was squashed when its collusion with Almata was uncovered. Heiwei must still be dealing with the aftermath of that. Okay, that's already customer served. Maybe I can use the extra time to go lend Kauhan a hand. It took a while, but I've gotten pretty used to this job. I mean, sure, finding out what's actually going on with Miss Mal made my jaw drop, but she doesn't treat me any differently for it. If anything, I feel like I can trust her even more now. Whoops, there I go again, blabbing secrets out loud to myself.
Alright, let's move.
Our chef Kauhan can be a little surly, but don't hold that against him. His food's no joke, and he's more of a gentleman than he looks, plus he's got a few hidden tricks up his sleeves. Back during the Revolution Festival, he protected me with his bare fists. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Hey, do you hear about that luxury car going on display in Longport? Oh, you mean the special edition model they're unveiling for Lunar New Year? Sometimes I forget how big a fan you are of that brand, Downey. Hell yeah, man. Now that's on my radar. I can't rest until I see that baby in person. Pack your bags, he aids. It's time to get our asses to Longport stat. Hang on a minute. You want it to go now? I've got my own plans too, you know. Downey's the dictionary definition of inconsiderate. If I already got my own plans, he could at least ask if I'm free before trying to drag me halfway across the country. A luxury car from Red Star, the brand that owns my soul. Can you believe it? I just gotta see that baby for myself, and there's no better way to do that than hauling ass to Longport. Sheesh, my team makes more of a ruckus than the hot rods we drive. It's a wonder they have enough roadside etiquette to avoid causing trouble for normal folks on the public streets. Guess they wouldn't call us automaniacs if we weren't a little maniacal, though. I'll just have to keep them in line somehow. So about my Kabul, I'm thinking it's time I started playing around with aerodynamics. Seriously, Jennifer, why couldn't you mention this before we tuned it up and we put it on the road? You were so pumped about taking Lucio on with what we've got. What changed? Everything. Didn't you see those new parts Ingrid had the last C1? Whoa, talk about revving your engines. These must be the Motorhead's band was talking about. The street racers, you mean. They're definitely orbital car enthusiasts, to put it lightly.
Okay.
Lucio said it doesn't have Mira to spare on racing anymore, but that hasn't slowed his wheels any. He's even doing research into auto parts, from what I can tell. Maybe go to him up for some advice next time. I'm more an Inger and Leno gal, so I'll bet he's got a lot to teach about the other brands. Ooh, this food cart here looks pretty promising. Welcome, care for a drink? I have a few desserts on offer as well. Looks like you've given some of your menu items an Eastern spin. I'm guessing you tweak things according to where you set up shop. She knows familiarity with Eastern culture lends an authenticity that goes beyond just a mere spin. Achieving this level of accuracy speaks to your considerable amount of skill and experience, though. On the contrary, I still have much to learn. The best beverages are those that are tailored to the customer's mood, not to mention the current temperature and humidity. It's a simple concept, but profound all the same. Even now, I'm working to improve day by day. All this mixology talk's really working up its first, huh, S? Yeah, maybe we can get something non-alcoholic for ourselves. It's been about a year since I opened this mobile bar, but I still feel there's more I can get out of it. On that note, there's been noticeably less foot traffic around here than usual. The temporary closure of Esprit Cinema seems to be the main cause of that. What? They closed it down? Well, that's inconvenient for me. I'm looking forward to the crowds they'll bring upon its grand reopening.
Hello.
Salad. Oh? Portal right next to Shino for some reason. Entrance to the waterway. You don't have any particular business here right now, even though I see a chest. But wait, can we actually hack it without mirror? Maybe Nadia would know how? I don't know. Well, nice of you to visit, Elaine. And who do we have here? These are the substitute Spriggan's band appointed to fill in for him while he's out of the capital. I issued a request to both of them, hence why they're assisting me right now. How do you do? I'm N, and this is S. You must be Marielle. We read about you in the files the van left us. Wow, you sure are polite. NS, was it? Her name is Nadia, and mine is Swin. She's just messing with you. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Oh, sounds like you two must be pretty close. I learned about that criminal who appeared at the Republican Army garrison, by the way. Nothing of note has happened since the incident, so the police and government are both at a standstill. On top of that, there's another troubling case I've been keeping tabs on recently. A journalist I looked up to told me to follow my intuition, so I'm going to stick this one out a bit. A journalist she looked up to. I can guess who that might be. Not really following, but I like the confidence. Good luck out there. I still got a lot to learn as a journalist, but for now I'm going to follow my gut and pound the pavement in search of a scoop. It was nice meeting you, by the way. If you run into any good leads, be sure to let me in on them.
It confirms that.
What to do?
Okay. Grape juice, strawberry au lait. Man, I've never seen Marielle this gung-ho before. Apparently the editor-in-chief's given her a little more freedom to act on her own as a reward for her accomplishments last year. So like 1 minute I'm showing her the ropes and the next she's climbing up above me. I can't tell if I'm more proud or jealous. Last year I kept getting assigned to other departments that needed a hand, but much to my relief, they're having me focus on the culture section for the time being. It'll mostly be Z1 coverage though, so I'm gonna have to wrap my engines to keep up. I understand that Marielle has been conducting an independent investigation. Frankly, it's more than a little concerning, but so long as it doesn't impact her work on the culture section, we'll just keep an eye out for her now. Given her past performance, I'm willing to allow some leeway in what she chooses to cover. The girl has a keen instinct, all told. Acting on it was precisely what led to her achievements last year. Marielle has always strove to measure up with Dingo, so I was afraid this passing would cause her to lose her way. It seems my fears were unfounded, though. She's been absorbing his teachings and improving as a reporter one step at a time. Of course, she's still a greenhorn with a tendency to leap before she looks. But I'd say she's making steady progress toward forging a path of her own, separate from Dingo's.
So sleepy.
Welcome to Tyrell Times. How may I help you today? If you're here to speak with one of our reporters, I'm afraid there may be a bit of a wait. Everyone has a lot on their plates. What of all the events and other high-profile happenings this year? I have to wonder if Marielle's going to be alright, though. She's been doing more independent investigations than ever now. It's hard not to worry that she might be getting in over her head.
Delicious.
Hey there, guys. Want to try our new special? I call it the Winter Combo. The cold weather doesn't take away from the taste. If anything, it actually accentuates it. Oh, what's this? I spot a gourmet in your midst. Isn't that right, young lady? Oh, was that obvious? I've got an extra stomach for sweets, so yeah, you could say I'm a sugarholic. I thought as much. How about I try and guess your favorite flavor to boot? Now, let's see. What kind of vibe am I picking up? You read as a citrus and chocolate girl, and everything in between, too. In other words, when it comes to ice cream, you don't limit yourself to a single flavor or topping. You like them all. Holy moly, you're right on the nose. Any ice cream is nice cream in my book. Call it unconditional love. So how did you know? ESP? Spy Network?
Now playing in a theater.
Picking Nadia as an ice cream enjoyer on site is one thing, but her flavor preferences, or lack thereof, rather, seems like it was less of an educated guess and more pure intuition. That's pretty impressive on its own, though. Sussing out a customer's taste is a gift that comes from interacting with so many sweet tooths. It's like we're all part of the same mouth, or like our hearts are connected, to put it in a less gross way. Anyhow, that's my secret. Nowadays I can see most people's favorite flavors written all over them.
What can I get for you?
Winter combo.
Popcorn?
I hadn't realized Esprit Cinema was temporarily closed. Dash it all. Suppose I have no choice but to go to the multiplex at the Trian Mall instead, much as I'd prefer otherwise. Frankly, the atmosphere of that place isn't my cup of tea. Hey there, how's about some popcorn? There's no better snack when you're at the movies. Of course, that point's kind of moot since Esprit Cinema is closed for remodeling right now. But popcorn is delicious no matter the occasion, so come and get it while it's hot. This movie theater was starting to show its age, so they decided the renovations were in order. It only makes sense. The multiplex over at the Trian Mall is going to be stiff competition. What if all their state-of-the-art equipment?
Hi there.
Yellow popcorn, honey churro.
Here I go!
That's just a rumor, right?
It's true the Spriggan went to Mesalam. Sheesh, sounds like he's had a hard turn of fate lately. Wasn't this guy also... In Van's notes, yeah, apparently he used to be a pretty famous getaway driver. Maybe we could use him to escape from some of our jobs. Think he would let us use his car in a nap station? Don't even think about it. Giordano's actually one of Dingo Brad's old acquaintances. Oh, sorry, was lost in thought for a moment. Nothing for you to worry about, though. Old Giordano will get you where you need. I wonder if he's checked the bulletin board yet. I'm sure he exists. Oh, he's talking about... Yeah, I guess he's got a request for us. Why don't we check the bulletin board for more details? It sucks I wasn't able to get us that contract in Mesalam. Guess I was too focused on enjoying the ballet and all the seafood. Well, it's fine. I'll just hop to Dubai on my long-port trip. Seems there's not much to worry about on Station Street today. It feels like Edith's been a little brighter ever since the Mafia group disappeared. Still, the small-time crime never sleeps. I'll need to keep an eye out. And see, what the bunny picked up was the seagulls. That's really interesting, Mina. Mommy loves hearing your stories. Was that from a book someone read to you, or did you come up with it by yourself? Yeah, it was both. So she used her imagination to add on to a storybook. Is that what she means? That must be why it was so interesting. How about you tell me the rest after we get home, okay? You see, Mommy needs to go to the bank right now, and we have to be really quiet when we're inside. Aw. Don't be sad, Mina. I promised you could tell me the ending at home, didn't I? My daughter loves talking to me about all kinds of things. She actually used to be a bit unruly, always throwing tantrums. But I think it was because I wasn't giving her proper attention. That's why I've been trying to engage with her more often lately. You know, she's actually about to start Sunday school in April. I hope she'll be okay. Well, just in case, I plan on letting her do a few trial classes beforehand. Hopefully they'll go smoothly. Yeah, back then I was afraid she would end up joining Ouroboros, this Mina kid. I love Mommy because she listens to all my stories. Before, when she didn't listen, it made me really sad. Yeah, listen to your kids or we'll join Ouroboros. Okay, can we actually go in here? You don't have business here. Okay, I guess not. Oh well, since my husband's going to be gone for a while, I think I might just partake in a little retail therapy. Although I do wish he was here to tell me how nice I look.
Our stores have a wide variety of...
Welcome to the Weston Department Store. Ever since the new year began, we've seen a rather large influx of customers. I suppose we should expect good prospects for the future. It's imperative that we keep this momentum. We must not allow ourselves to be overtaken by Trian Mall. Have you been up to visit the rooftop yet? Last year, we were only able to use it as a simple rest space for our customers. However, we've decided to start using it for events and performances as well. The customers actually seem to be fairly receptive to the idea. Welcome. The foods we sell here are from a variety of diverse locales. Feel free to take a look. We've even found replacements for the produce we were getting from Cray Village. That being said, we appreciate their past contributions and continue to grieve such a tragic loss of life.
that are directly sourced from farmers.
By the way, do you know that there's been an increase of trains between Ora and the Republic? It's so much easier to get produce from there now. Hopefully we'll get more people visiting as well. I actually hadn't been able to return to Ora until the beginning of this year.
Let me know if you need anything at all.
Sardines. It sounds like Longport's been seeing a lot of action lately. I'm not super keen on going back, but it might be a good idea to check in on everyone. Well, I need to hit up Dr. Longkai for some stuff anyway. Maybe I'll take a trip soon. Oh, sorry, don't mind me. I was just talking to myself. Say, you're those substitute Spriggans, aren't you? Van told me about you guys. He's a big fan of my pharmacy here. Always picks our stock clean too. Why don't you have a look?
Enjoy shopping with
This
us.
guy's name is Leon, I think. He was in Van's notes. Yeah, they mentioned something about him being part of the Gekka school too. Looks like he's got something on his mind.
So sleepy.
Make sure you take a look at our stock. All our medicines are of the highest quality. Whatever you're looking for, we have it. Our medicines will cure anything and everything that's ailing you.
What can I get for you today?
Purifying spice.
Thank you for visiting the Weston Department Store.
Energy jelly.
Our store.
I'm always surprised by how many different parts this store has. Let's see, why don't I just stick to changing out my sword's handle grip for today? If I'm not mistaken, this boy is an exchange student from the Empire. From Force Military Academy's current Class 7. Whoa, really? No wonder I couldn't find any openings on him.
You will find a rest area surrounded by greenery.
Oh, it's you two. Van mentioned his substitutes would be coming around. So you're them, huh? He also said something about you guys having unique weaponry. Huh, Van also left your info in his notes for us. Sylvie, a gunsmith with exceptional skill. Honestly, our weapons might be a little more than just unique. Are you sure you're up to doing maintenance on them? Well, guns may be my specialty, but I've dealt with all kinds of weapons over the years. Don't worry, they'll be in good hands. I'll see what I can do. I can also vouch for Sylvie's skill. Actually, most racers in the capital get their weapons serviced here. She's even done some work on my sword. There you have it. Even an A rank trusts me. Guns, swords, you name it. I'll get them fixed in no time. By the way, I heard the engineer from Cray started working at the Vernay store. Kinda, right? Didn't she used to work with you? Yep, but she told me she didn't want to rely on my charity anymore, so I introduced her to the Vernay store. Actually, I introduced her to a lot of places. Didn't think she'd choose that one. Well, she's pretty good with hardware, isn't she? I remember thinking she was like one of those old-timey mechanical engineers. We stopped by the village some time ago, even got to take a look at her factory. Still, comparing that old shop to Vernay's store, it's like they're two different worlds. Yeah, she apparently had a bit of difficulty adjusting to the job at first, but I think she's managed to find her niche. We still meet up every now and then, actually. Sounds like she's been doing okay. I'm always willing to lend a hand if she needs it, though.
Thank you for visiting the Weston Department Store.
Kinda's doing her best to move on in the world. Can't blame her for that. I mean, it does kind of get lonely around here without an assistant, but I've been running this place alone for years. Plus, customer satisfaction is as high as ever, so if you need anything, feel free to stop on by.
If you need something custom made, I got you covered.
I got this stuff. Sniper's gloves. Oh, I really want those leggings from EGC, but I don't have any Mira. If only I had a rich husband, all my worries would be washed away. Why has everything been going so terribly for me lately? Things were starting to look up at the Revolution Festival, weren't they?
Ingredients that are
Welcome to Jordan. We've procured a variety of quality clothing here that's sure to satisfy your everyday needs. By the way, are you at all familiar with the fast fashion stores over at Shian Mall? There are a number of new apparel manufacturers in the industry lately, and my goodness, they have quite the range of products. So we have a fair amount of different styles here as well. If you're ever uncertain about what to wear, feel free to ask us for a consultation. Crocodile wallet could be useful.
Should you need a break from
What to do?
Mango all late. Welcome to Weston Department Store's rooftop. As you can see, we've recently started showcasing performances here. We hope to use this terrace to entertain our customer base from now on.
What would you like?
Buy 2 of items. Boom, boom goes my heart. Our love's off to a start. Alright, everyone. Free 2. Oh, this is the Idol Girls. I've heard the genre they're working in has been really struggling to become mainstream. Their costumes are so frilly and cute. Think maybe they let me wear one? I'm sure it would get enemies to let their guard down quicker. Could be useful for infiltration missions as well. Why don't we both wear them? Then we'd be unstoppable. I think I'll pass. These two are quite the comedy duo. Darn it, how did I end up back here? Did I overshoot my destination? Man, I figured I'd have better luck this year. But I'm the same as ever. Well, I won't let this get in my way. During last year's Revolution Festival, I actually ended up wandering into some Super Sea underground area. I had to get someone leading back to the top side. But every time I've tried to find a place since, it's like it never even existed, and I just end up lost again. I remember there being some scary monsters there, but when I told my friends about it, they had no clue what I was talking about. So weird.
Alright.
I believe we'll make perfect time then. We can't make the counselors wait after all. So we'll all have a meal together, followed by an interview with the authorities over in Tyrell District. Unfortunately, it seems we were unable to get an interview with the president. Well, at least we have a chance to speak with members of the Senate. Just you wait, the Tyrell Times will have their publications trembling with fear. So why does the editor-in-chief insist on having that girl play all the important roles? She's just so naive, and that's not even to mention how inexperienced she is. I'll admit, some of her articles last year were on par with my own, but I'm sure they were only flukes. Well, I suppose we'll just have to see if she sinks or swims. Let's see what's trending on my feed right now. Whoa, check this out, Greta. Oh, that picture is everything. Ugh, I'm obsessed. BT dubs, Kopeka, you really know your way around that T-phone, huh? Well, I did snag it for free in that raffle last year. But these days, there's so many people posting on their T-phones that trying to keep up with it all is like a full-time job. Wow, way to humble brag. Must be nice living life on the cutting edge. Maybe I'll save up some money and get my own. Go for it, girl. Once you buy one, I can be your personal T-phone tutor. The T-phone's all the rage nowadays. You should get one too. So if only it didn't take forever to save up for. Before I got my T-phone, I was stuck borrowing my dad's laptop every day. It was such a pain though. Seriously, why did it take so long just to upload pics? Well, with the T-phone, I can post photos as soon as I take them. It's like the best thing ever. The new year is always a bit too busy for my liking. I'm glad things have finally settled down. By the way, we bought an apartment in the capital recently. We'll be enjoying our life among the streets of Edith from now on. Although I suppose I've been a regular around here for a while now. I've been taking a look around the Trian Mall in Tyrell District since the beginning of the year. They're a far cry from anything you'll find in Orasian, that's for sure. It's also tantalizing. But why do I always seem to find myself at this cafe? I suppose we'll be in the capital for the foreseeable future. And please, try not to forget why we're here in the first place, mistress. After all, the master will be counting on you to be his contact in Edith. Please make sure to maintain proper decorum. The new T-phone was formally released to the market recently. We also have a few units for sale, and on consignment from the Verne store, of course. I hope you'll continue to use Iota for all your orbital needs in the future. You know, Ilha and I have known each other since we were students. And it seems like seeing the T-phone for the first time has triggered an old idea factory in his brain. That guy never changes, huh?
I can handle any maintenance.
Oh, there's a new driver, Mistral. Wait, this one actually comes with a dual element art. Huh. Welcome, we have all the latest in orbital products and accessories. Please let me know if there's something you'd like. And on our second floor, we have a cafe. It's a perfect place to rest and recuperate. If there's anything we can help with, please don't hesitate to ask one of our staff. I've been working here for about a year now. The job comes so easily to me. I've undertaken a lot of new responsibilities lately, too. It helps that I'm always willing to try new things.
What would you like?
Ron's lighter.
My favorite orbital cafe.
Oh, welcome. Would you like some coffee? You know, I've noticed those T-phones have been around an awful lot lately. They seem quite useful. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we all have the latest news at our fingertips. I wonder what else could be done with the T-phone. Maybe a service that makes use of their net access. Perhaps it's time I thought of starting a new business.
What can I get for you?
Banana smoothie.
Please consider my...
So this cafe is something of a base of operations for your research project. How interesting. As it so happens, the owner, Ilhan, is one of the Institute's alumni. It's plain to see that he put his civil engineering studies to good use designing this place. The atmosphere is just lovely. I'm glad you find it so agreeable. By the way, Associate Professor, have you already finished your business here in the capital? For the most part, yes. I was attending a conference on communications infrastructure with a few of my colleagues in the field. I simply wanted to pay a few of my students a visit before heading home. Speaking of which, I hear Gimbat's been visiting Edith for his fair share of meetings as well. Yes, he's quite busy apparently. It's no surprise given how in demand he is on so many fronts. What a magnificent man. Well, I suppose we'll just have to work doubly hard to match his brilliance. The T-phone's really been taking off in the capital, huh? Although I think Basel has everyone beat. They use it for practically everything over there. It's interesting to see how technology shapes the way people interact with the world. This truly is a fine cafe. I wonder if urban engineering was taken into account when designing the interior. The practicality of the space certainly indicates as much. It really is rather marvelous. Perhaps I should exchange some ideas with Ilhan later. Sorry to drag you along on this. I know you've already got enough work to sift through. No, no big deal. At least I'm gonna do for all the times you did me a solid. Sure, I'll leave the capital a little short-staffed, but I think we trained up enough young blood to pick up the slack while we're gone. And normally I'd follow you right into the young pile, too, but I suppose you've shaped up since the day you rolled into the guild. Speaking of which, there's been talk about promotions coming up. How do you like your chances? And it's still too early for me. Besides, I'd like to spend some more time getting the newbies up to snuff. I'd rest a lot easier if we had a few more talented recruits on our branch. Maybe, say, 2 of them. I see where we're going with this. There do seem to be a few worthy candidates around. Call me a narcissist, but I get the feeling you're talking about us. Not in the least. Whoever gave you that idea. An oddly specific number. Come on, Lane. Enough of the death glares. We're just poking fun. So I expect you both to be above schoolyard teasing. Particulars aside, these 2 are merely civilians for a moment. Yeah, shame on you. I demand a nice big bump in payment to cover the emotional damages. At the end of the day, our cooperation hinges on being able to choose the work we take on. Message received. Anyway, thanks for lending us a hand. Better than being with the gardens, am I right? It's too bad Ismail and I are leaving the capital for a while. There were a few things we wanted to verify with you. It'd be great if we could get together for a nice long chat down the line, though. About what? Lahan and Ismail have been working cases involving the gardens for several years now. Is that so? Oh yeah, you bracers did come pretty close to nabbing us a few times here and there. No hard feelings, though. We wound up using you to keep our old coworkers busy during our great escape. That sort of behind-the-scenes intel is exactly what we're looking for now that the gardens are defunct. They bit the big one around the same time as Almata, but they were already on their last legs at that point. Anyway, hope you'll talk it over with us later. Think of it as a memorial service mixed with an expose. Well, we do kind of owe you in a roundabout way, so sure, that can be arranged. It's heavy stuff though, so you might want to stock up on tissues. I've been worried about a lot lately, like those recent serial killer incidents. Well anyway, we've got a business trip we need to be heading off to. Make sure you help Elaine while we're gone, alright? And maybe we can take some time to talk when I'm back. You know, bracer to former Gardens members. Lahad's taking on the task of dealing with everything related to the Gardens recently. Honestly, of all the roles he's undertaken, he should have enough experience for a promotion. Not that he seems to care all that much. Well, I guess he'd be even busier a request as an A rank, huh? Yeah, I think I might understand where he's coming from. Instead of saying former garden members, I feel like it'd be easier to say gardeners. Why didn't the gardens just go with that when naming their members? Just call them gardeners. Hey Elaine, how's your investigation going? I'm assuming it's right on track knowing you. I haven't met with too many problems recently. However, I did take it upon myself to recruit some more help. You make it sound like we're mercenaries. Does the guild really trust us? I mean, we're only substitute Spriggans after all. There's no need to be so humble, you two. I've heard about what you guys did back in Crossbell. And I know you have your own problems you're working to solve as well. Say, maybe the guild's information network can help you out some. As long as we all work together, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Don't you think? I see, I kind of have a feeling he's bluffing. Still, you think they know something about who we're looking for? I guess it's not impossible, but it's probably best we don't involve the guild any more than we need to. These kids, I really would like to help them somehow. Actually, the guild's been pretty short-handed for a while now. We've been holding onto our current staff, but there's a fair pile of incidents we haven't been able to get to yet. We just don't have the numbers. When you have some free time, think maybe you could lend us a hand? Sounds like he's hiding something. He's been friendly so far, but I feel like we shouldn't let our guard down. Who knows, maybe he'll try to work us to death. Hello, Albus, Regina, working on even on standby, are we? Elaine, welcome back. Oh, and you brought company. These must be Arkwright Solutions' new substitute Spriggans. For a pair of teens, you look pretty on top of your game. Thanks for chipping in on the guild's request, by the way. We're expecting big results out of you. You got it, boss. So, are those laptops for the investigation? Now, this is for a different assignment. We've been getting a lot more Orbital Network-related jobs lately. It's a byproduct of the T phones entering the market. They've introduced a whole slew of new criminal activity, from online fraud to malicious hacking. Yeah, I've been giving Albus a few primers while we work through the cases. The basics come to me easily enough, but this sort of thing is more Regina's forte than it's mine. Back to what I was saying though, can we use this comms log to determine the nearest relay station? We sure can. Remember the protocol analysis procedure, you just cross-reference it with the list of relay stations then. Being a bracer seems pretty rough. In this day and age, it's imperative that we keep our body of knowledge up to with the times. Issues where we can't determine the root cause, such as these service disruptions, force us to look outward for assistance. Yeah, that tracks. It's the whole reason you came knocking for me in S in the first place. You know, I'm actually fairly adept with orbital tech. I've been trying to teach everyone how to use some of it with my free time lately. I mean, Elvis is already a B rank, right? He should know how to use a tracing program by now. Elaine had picked it up a lot faster than I expected though, so don't give up, Albus. Just you wait, I'll have this stuff mastered in no time. I mean, I'm good at fighting though, so I shouldn't be making excuses. It's not right to leave everything to Regina all the time. Oh, but of course, if you ever need anything, Elaine, feel free to give me a shout. Thank you, Albus. I'll consider coming to you in the future. She'll consider it. Oh man, she doesn't see me as someone she can rely on, huh? Oh? Seems like he's got a few issues he needs to work through.
What's on the menu?
There's a 4-speed on the bulletin board. Eddy works at one of the rusted chestnut stalls I run, but it's been a few days since he's shown up, and considering his passive desire, I worry he might have had some sort of run with a few gangsters. Will you mind looking into what happened to him for me? If you need any info to work off of, I'll be at the terrace in front of the station. Manager Thompson. Are you the Thompson that sent in the request? Oh yes, I take it that means you're the Spriggan, correct? You're a bit different from what I imagined. Well, the guy who usually does these jobs had to leave Edith for a bit. So we're helping him out by taking on the request ourselves. We're fully equipped to take care of things as well as any Spriggan would. We've also been made aware of the goings-on behind the scenes in the capital. You can rely on us. I see, in that case. I feel like I've seen that woman before. Maybe it's just my imagination. Shall we get down to it then? Of course, whenever you're ready. Your request was about someone named Eddy going missing, right? That's right, I'll go ahead and give you the full rundown. You see, I run several food stands throughout the capital. Eddy started working at a stand selling roasted nuts at the end of last year. Eddy, that's a name from Van's notes. The son of the general store owner in Old Town. He used to be a member of a gang called Desire. A former gang member, huh? Sounds like foul play could be involved. Is that why you put out a 4-speed instead of going to the guild or the police? That's right, but I'm telling you, Eddy's turned over a new leaf. He's a real hard worker. I just can't believe that he'd up and leave without saying a word to anyone. So do you think you could find out what happened to him? What do you think we should do, S? Accept. Alright, leave it to us. Well, I certainly have no objections. Not to mention, if there's any possibility that he's in danger, it's my duty to help. I appreciate it. Please find out whatever you can about what's happened to Eddy. I'd like to lend you all a hand, but I do have to get back to work after this. If you find out anything in the meantime, please feel free to contact me. Okay, we'll do our best. Alright then, I'll be waiting for some good news. Desire, huh? According to Van, several of their members were brutally killed a couple of days ago, and now a former member's gone missing. It's certainly possible that these events are connected, but we shouldn't jump to any conclusions at this stage. Let's take things slowly. We should start by talking to people in Van's network who might know Eddy. Well, we know who Eddy's mom is, don't we? Let's get to it then, to Newberry General Store.
Let's wrap this up quickly.
I wonder if...
I see you're working hard as always.
Oh, hello. Are you the ones filling in for Van while he's away? That's right, and we have something we'd like to ask you. It's about your son Eddy. Eddy, has something happened to him? I thought he was finally getting his life on track. I mean, he's been coming by so often lately. But then he just stopped, and nobody I've spoken to has seen or heard from him either. I'm starting to worry. Well, there's no need to jump to conclusions just yet. Although, it is a bit concerning that he hasn't been home recently. Eddy hasn't shown up at work either, so his boss at the food stand wanted us to check on him. That's why we came to you. We were hoping he might have told you where he was headed. That boy, causing trouble for his boss too. Well, I'm not sure how helpful this will be, but when I last saw him, he seemed a little anxious. He told me he wasn't going to be back for a while. I figured he meant he was going to be busy with work. I have a feeling he's gotten himself wrapped up in some trouble with that old gang of his. After all, they were pretty angry about him leaving. I'm worried they might still hold a grudge against him. I understand your concern, but I think that the chances of that are pretty low. Most of Desire's higher-ups are either dead or wounded, and their leader is in custody. As an organized gang, they're practically finished. Yeah, I doubt they have the manpower to go after everyone who left. Really? But that still doesn't explain where Eddy's gone. Listen, if you have the time, I genuinely appreciate you keeping an eye out for him. I need to make sure that idiot son of mine is safe. Leave it to us. We'll do everything we can to find him. Well, now we know he hasn't been home yet either. Couple that with the fact that he didn't tell his mom anything useful, we're right back to where we started. The Black Lake District's probably going to be our best bet then. Considering the people involved, I mean... Actually, I suggest we seek out a more reliable source. I believe Van mentioned wanting to introduce you if the opportunity presented itself. Huh? Using her cipher, Elaine called up this particular reliable source. Hello there, you must be Van's newest little assistants. My name is Ramadi, and I'm a bartender. However, I'm also well known for my intimate relations with Van. Oh, is that so? Oh, I'd love to hear any stories you have. Although I understand any hesitancy you may have about him, he's one of the best information dealers out there. Both Van and I make great use of him. But with that, let's get back to business. Ramadi, there's something we'd like to ask you. Anything for you, Elaine? Based on the timing, I assume you'd like to know about the happenings surrounding Desire. It sounds like you know exactly what's going on then. Of course I do. These past 2 days, the remaining members have been disappearing one after the other. It would seem that the other gangs have finally declared a hunting season. Some of their members have faced capture already, though many more have gone into hiding. Hunting season? Desire was an organization with cunning leadership, and that leadership always made sure they were at the top of the underworld. To see their ambitions fulfilled, however, they made their choice to trample upon a number of other gangs. Unsurprisingly, this created enemies. Enemies who have the perfect opportunity to enact revenge on their past tormentors. Now Desire's down its luck. It's not the gist of it. Bingo. The situation has been escalating at a rapid pace lately. Most of these hunters aren't even attempting to hide who they're targeting anymore. Actually, it seems that one group was recently acting up at the center marsh. That might be a good place to start. Right, I appreciate the intel. We'll head over now. There's no need for thanks. After all, only the best for my dearest Van and Elaine. Swin Nadia, darlings. Feel free to use little old me to your advantage in the future. If you're ever in a pinch, just give me a ring. Of course, we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Barry. Oh my, now that's a new one. I'll be looking forward to chatting with you in the future, Nadia. Well, it looks like our next destination is set. We'll look into what the gangs were doing at the marsh and see if we can get some info on Eddy. Yes, we don't know for certain if he's a target of this hunting season. But you have to admit the timing's a little too convenient. No way it's not related. We don't have any other leads at the moment, either. Let's find someone familiar with the marsh and see if they know anything.
Do you have a moment?
People going after former Desire members? Yeah, something like that has happened around here. Some people last night were in the back alleys were wondering if I saw anyone that could be a Desire member. I didn't want to get involved, and personally I think it's much more interesting to watch from the sidelines. I see, it doesn't look like there's much of a hunt going on now though. It's probably because they moved to another location. Hey, you're a sharp one. Desire members aren't idiots. If someone comes to search you out, you'd naturally find a place to lay low for a while. A place to lay low? I would think the most likely place to do so would be the sewers. Almost recently, Jeffrey and the others were using it as a temporary hideout. I think you might just be right. I saw some rough-looking types run off in that direction a little while ago. I'm guessing they were found out and had to resort to bunkering down the sewers. Sounds like we got here just in time then. Let's head out. Yeah, we should get going. Damn it, did I just say we were in the wrong? Please, just let me go. I'll give you all my Mira. Shut up, no amount of Mira's gonna pay us back for all the years of suffering you guys put us through. Desire's reign is at an end. Now get down on your knees and beg like the dogs you are. Hey, I guess these Desire pricks weren't so high and mighty after all. It pisses me off that we were under their heel for so long. How's about we tie our legs and let them go for a swim? No, please, you don't really want me to die, right? What's with the sudden appeal for mercy? Don't you remember when you did shit like this? That'll be enough of that, I think. Sorry, but I'm not willing to overlook senseless violence. Who the hell are you? This is none of your business. Looks like that info was spot on. They should know what's going on. Well, they'll spill their guts one way or another. Although I would prefer we not resort to violence if we can help it. If you all answer our questions, this matter can be resolved peacefully. Hey, that woman over there, isn't that the Blade or something racer? The hell are you talking about? You think some famous person would get involved in our little spats? Look, I don't know why you're here, but if you get in our way, you better be ready for a beating. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Boo, why can't you losers learn to use your brains once for once? If you already made up your mind, then let's get this over with quickly. Eek! And there he goes. Leave him for me for now. We need to take care of the perpetrators first. Damn it, you let him get away. They're just a couple of brats. Come on, let's get rid of them. That woman looks like she can totally kick her asses, though. She'll be too busy defending the kids. Just surround them. Here they come.
Activating shards.
Just try and take me.
Fine, let's play. You're freaking dead.
Okay.
For a shard boost.
Too slow. You're done. Let's do this.
Activating skill.
You aren't getting away. Cross. Tiger.
Serious gauge limit removed.
Okay, that worked out. Alright, why don't you tell us what you know? I can't believe we lost to some kids and their chaperone. Hey, I can't move my body. What do you do? Is this a string? It won't come off. Yup, it's a special thread of mine, as fine as spider silk. The strongest of the strong couldn't get out of this stuff. It'd practically be impossible for you guys like you to get out of it. That's what you think. Well, but that won't hold you back. Why don't we try this? Ha! What did you do to me? Oh, you don't feel so good. So dizzy. All you did was give the thread a little tug. More importantly, are you going to answer our questions or not? Honestly, I'm fine with whatever you choose. We'll just leave you here and wait for all the blood to build in your head. Do you want to know what happens after that? I know you're concerned, but you can leave it to Nadia. This method never fails to get results. She won't cross any lines. Yes, well, considering you two were trained by the Gardens, forgive me if I have my concerns. I understand you have your faith in her, but there's almost certainly a difference between what you and I believe crosses the line. Just know that if things get out of hand, it'll be my duty to stop her. With Elaine's input, Nadia was made to perform a more subdued line of questioning on the gang members. In the end, they informed the group of their aims without creating any further fuss. So it seems that Eddy really was a target. It doesn't sound like anyone's managed to find him yet, though. I don't think they were lying either. Oh, that reminds me. Brenda said he dropped by a few days ago, right? Yeah, and that's when he mentioned he wouldn't be around for a while. In light of what we know about the hunt for former Desire members, it seems most likely that Eddy hid himself away so as to not get his mother involved. However, there's no guarantee he can keep himself safe until the end. Our client's request was to figure out what happened to him, so we should focus on actually finding him first. At the moment, nothing else matters. In that case, why don't we head to the Satan District? Based on what those gang members said, it seems that's where he's most likely to be. They did say that a former Desire member had holed up somewhere over there. It also sounds like they already started their search of the area. We should hurry. There's a police station in the area, so it should be relatively safe around here. However, this spot in particular is known to be a place where shady people frequent. No, stop! Hey, what do you think you're doing? The kid's got nothing to do with this. Stop, get back here! What was that? Let's go take a look. We just heard a scream. Is everything alright? These gangsters just came up out of nowhere and accused us of hiding someone. We told them we didn't know what they were talking about, but they took Frala with them as a hostage anyway. Frala? She's one of the girls on our team. Simon, our captain, went to go chase them down. It looks like we don't have time to waste. Do you know where they might have gone? The waterworks entrance under a bridge would be my best guess. They ran off in that direction, at least. It'd be the most likely hiding place. Got it. Leave everything to us. The sewers again? It's like they're into the smell or something. No time for complaining. Let's go. This must be the same waterworks. Nadia, you sensing anything? Yeah, it feels like a bunch of people just came through here. I think I can hear some voices too. They must be up ahead then. We're not too late. I heard you two were quite skilled, but that was an impressive analysis. This does seem to be where the gang members ran off to. Let's remain cautious moving forward. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Simon, come on, we all know about your friendship with Mark. I get it, you're trying to cover for your friends in Desire, but even Eddy... That's real low. I'm only going to say this once. Talk about Mark again, you'll get a face full of fist. That's beside the point anyway. I ain't covering for anyone. And even if I was, Eddy left Desire ages ago. What, you think we just take his word for it? If you don't start talking, I'm sure we can find another way to get those lips slapping. Simon. The longer it takes for you to fess up, the more time we have to think up ways to put this girl to use. I'm sure we can have all kinds of fun with her, but if the idea doesn't sit well with you, maybe it's time to rethink where your loyalties lie. You dirty bastards. Who are you? I apologize for the delay, but we'll be taking it from here. Some wanna be heroes, huh? We've got a hostage. Try anything and see what happens. This girl's skin will split like a grape. Hostage definitely complicates things. If push comes to shove, we might need to rely on Nadia's abilities. Raw! Get your dirty paws off her! That was his entire S-craft. Urgh, damn this kid. Eddy, finally decided to show your face, huh? Eddy! Well, that was certainly unexpected. Ferala, get over here! Simon, got it! Don't worry about me. Take the kid and get out of here. Alright, thanks. Be careful. So the brat escaped, huh? But damn, you sure picked a good time to jump in, Eddy. Saved us trouble of having to look for you. Look, if it's me you want, nobody else has to be involved. So you're Eddy, huh? You have a bit more backbone than I was expecting. We were asked by Thompson and your mother to find you. The manager and my ma, huh? Bunch of busybodies. Well, for a moment, we can see that you're fine. We'll talk about what comes next after we deal with these guys. Hey, you better be ready to show us a good time after you ruined all our fun. Make sure you get your hands on Eddy. It'll be a pain in the ass if he runs off again. Don't worry about me. I've dealt with my share of punks before. Of that, I have no doubt.
Just try and take me.
He's not... Eddy's not joining the party?
Good chance for a shard boost.
We should go on the attack.
Well, Forte actually casts really quickly, huh? Okay.
We'll win.
One steel coming right up.
Wings, guide me.
Knights of Asteria! This stage enhanced.
Seriously?
Pant, if that had gone on any longer, I might have been in trouble. But Elaine did all the work. Give up, you have no chance of winning. Unless you wish to be needlessly injured, I suggest you surrender. Shut up, we ain't going down that easily. Come on, get up, I'll call the others. These guys don't know when to quit. Guys who can't tell when to give up aren't exactly popular with the ladies, you know? I sure am tired, though. It's okay if I take a little nap here, right? Why would that ever be okay? If you're tired, you're more than welcome to have a rest in our hotel suite. You're with the Bank of Edith. They're the ones from the fake kidnapping case, aren't they? I heard the old man was her bodyguard. What are you doing here? Especially you, Berzelia. You promised you'd stay out of trouble. That's my line, Eddy. You knew you'd be in danger, but you still ran off on your own. If you don't want to cause trouble, then don't make others worry on your behalf. I see. I believe I understand the issue now. Let me be clear. Eddy is no longer involved with Desire. In fact, he's been received as an important guest at our hotel. I'd like to ask that you take your leave. If you bring harm to our guests in any way, shape, or form, we will show no mercy. What a pain in the ass. Screw it. There's no benefit in bagging Eddy anymore. Let's just clear out. Are you kidding? We're gonna give up just like that? You don't get it, do you? Bringing him in wasn't gonna make us any mirror anyway. And with these guys involved, the costs outweigh the benefit. So I'm free, so I don't have to keep hiding. Mr. Rumsfeld, thank you for your help. It seems you were far more involved than I imagined. Care to explain how you ended up here? Of course, we've known Eddy for a while now, you could say. We only did what we could to help him. However, you must all be exhausted after that incident. Rather than standing around in the sewer, why not return with us to more comfortable lodgings? So in other words, you were holed up around here the entire time. Yeah, as soon as the other gang started taking revenge, I figured it was only a matter of time before they came for me. I didn't want to cause any trouble for my ma, so I thought I'd just lay low till it all blew over. Actually, I started chatting with Berzelia here through orb mail some time ago. When he suddenly stopped answering my messages, I was worried sick. I felt like I had no choice but to put a search out for him. We finally found him taking shelter in an abandoned building. Of course, Eddy was hesitant to come with us, but we couldn't just leave him all alone defenseless. I owe him a lot, so I wanted to do everything I could to help him in turn. That's right, he helped to resolve the kidnapping situation you were involved in, didn't he? I remember now. Van's note said something about Eddy thwarting the leader of Desire's real goal. Well then, I trust you now understand why we were so adamant on protecting Eddy. Originally, we had intended to offer him a place to stay in safety. However, he eventually ended up running off into danger all on his own. I suspect he can survive the rest. I know they did me a solid by covering for me. I shouldn't have run off like that. But those threats started bringing in people who had nothing to do with any of this. I couldn't let that happen. You've truly matured, Eddy. However, it should be known that Miss Berzelia was the one to decide on coming to your aid. He was so brave for standing up to them. I just wanted to give him a hand. Wow, guess I really owe you one, huh? Weren't you two an interesting pair? I suppose it's more of a sibling relationship, though. Much different from me and S. Yeah, sure. Anyway. We've already contacted Thompson. He should be here soon. I see. Looks like I made him worry, too. Do you think he'll be mad? I know everything's settled down, but if he or my ma got wrapped up in this, I don't think you need to worry about that. Those gang members mentioned that they weren't getting much benefit from targeting former Desire members. I think they've given up on pursuing you any further, Eddy. You should be safe. I've already reported this situation to the guild. Any hunt of theirs will be put to an immediate end. Wow, you already gave a report to the guild. You've really got your stuff together, Blade Lady. Huh, guess that means I don't need to go back to hiding then. You found Eddy. Thompson, sorry for making you worry. There's no need to apologize. I heard you had a lot on your plate. From now on, I hope you'll feel you can come to me for any help you might need. And you all, thank you very much. It seems you went well beyond just finding the boy. I'll be sure to send the payment over as soon as I can. Thank you. We were happy to help. Another successful day of substitute sprigging. I'd also like to thank everyone at the hotel for all you've done for Eddy. Please, it was no problem at all. We simply returned an old favor. Yes, Eddy helped me too, so it was my turn to help him. Eddy, you should make sure to take it easy for a while. I'm sure your mother must be worried sick. I'm sorry to ask more of you so soon, but will you mind making sure he gets home safely? Yeah, no problem. The adventure doesn't end until you're safe and sound in bed. Hey, don't go thinking you can start pushing me around. I'll go see my mom if I wanna. Can you be a little more honest with yourself? You do care about your mom a lot, after all. Well, of course I do, but it's kind of embarrassing. Jeez, I ain't got a leg to stand on when it comes to you, Berzelia. Alright, I'll go see my ma. I'm glad I hear it. Actually, this is a good chance for me to finally meet your mom. I've been wanting to meet her for a while now. Yeah, seeing as you and Miss Berzelia plan to remain in contact, I would appreciate a chance to learn more about you. It's proven that I thank the woman who raised such a fine young man. What? You're all overreacting. Hey, you guys, say something. Thank you so much for finding my idiot son. The same to you as well, Miss... I appreciate all the trouble you've gone to bring him back. Can't believe they actually came home with me. There's hardly any need for thanks, madame. We were pleased to help where we could. That being said, have you heard of the rare, fantastic display of courage that Eddy gave? Yeah, even though he was being hunted, he went out of his way to help others in need. And when that happened, he said, "My goodness, I think my little troublemaker could be so brave." Arg, you don't need to go over every little thing I did. Come on, this is so embarrassing. I think we can see ourselves out. Yes, we did our best to protect the peace. For now, let's leave them be. Oh, they were just getting to the good stuff. Yeah, maybe next time.
Woohoo! 3 cheers for us! Reward deposited!
Gray Chaos. I'm quite pleased to have made acquaintance with Eddy's mother. But I'll admit, I find myself a bit perplexed. His mother seems so kindly, after all. What could have driven him to become a delinquent? Well, in any case, his mother is a wonderful woman. Now I needn't be so worried about his influence on the young miss. It looks like Miss Berzelia has taken quite an interest in Old Town as well. Come to think of it, I believe I've heard that bistro across the way has procured quite the following recently. Perhaps it would behoove us to dine there tonight. Out of curiosity, Eddy was born and raised here, correct? It makes me wonder what he was like at my age. Curious, are we? Oh, stories I could tell you. He was such a cute and obedient little boy back then, but then one day... Hey, shut your trap, Ma, and quit egging her on, Berzelia. I'm glad I was able to see a new side of Eddy, and Brenda was so welcoming too. I've never had the opportunity to come to Old Town before. All sites are quite new to me. Maybe I should have a look around. I know I said it before, but thanks for all your help. Guys, you've been filling in for Van, right? Guess that means I owe Arkwright Solutions again. I think it's about time I learned how to clean up the messes I make. Berzelia is such a good girl, don't you think? How she ever made friends with my rough and tough son is beyond me, though. Maybe I should talk to him, make sure he doesn't start any trouble for the young miss. Thanks for tuning in to this Let's Play of Trails for Daybreak 2. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.